Good evening, everybody. So we have 24 students here, and I'm so happy to be with you again tonight. So the topic for tonight is about publication. We need to publish, and Master of Science or Master in Nursing, master's students, any master's degree needs to learn how to do publication. So, welcome everybody to this topic. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day. I hope you're enjoying your time and almost congratulations for completing your master's. So, before we start, let me give some review before we have our 3 hour seminar. Let's have a review of Turnitin. Okay, let me share to you the screen. And just gonna have a review of what Turnitin looks like. And this is a background, a review, because we had this Turnitin already. We'll just have to review this again so that it doesn't make you forget. It recalls everything. Okay, let's listen to the recording again.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Duke again. This is for your research methodology, and the title of our discussion for today is about Turnitin. So, specifically focusing on the Turnitin software for your plagiarism checker. So, let us discuss about Turnitins. Let me share to you what the Turnitin is all about. So, Turnitin determines the congruence of text to sources in publicly accessible internet sources or every document already submitted to Turnitin or assignments from within the class, which means this is the software that checks originality. Therefore, an originality checker is what the Turnitin is all about, the software Turnitin. The lecturers can put up out from Turnitin storing papers, and only the lecturer can access the submitted paper from Turnitin. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of Turnitin? There are a lot of originality checkers in the internet nowadays, but Turnitin is so famous is because it allows for citation, verification, and quickly provides documentation of alleged plagiarism. And therefore, it detects rewording. That means if you reword it, it will appear. Originality checker for Turnitin is so sensitive that you cannot plagiarize yourself. Once you turn it in, therefore, you have already submitted it to the originality checker, and you can also plagiarize yourself if you have resubmitted that assignment in another program or in another subject or in another university. And Turnitin is all connected to other universities all over the world that it has their own intellectual property, wherein you could not take other people's intellectual property because they have their own Turnitin. They have turned it in, and it is hooked to a lot of internet sources. Not just internet sources, it's very sensitive to other sources that might be available on the world web page, www world web page, something like that. And it allows for peer-to-peer plagiarism detection from the World Wide Web. So that is the advantage of originality checker called Turnitin. Another thing that makes Turnitin so famous is that it is very accessible to all lecturers and students, and they can upload both. That means you can upload and lecturers can upload. The disadvantage of Turnitin is that it does not search subscription databases, example library databases and newspapers, etc., unless those materials also appear in the assignment previously sent to Turnitin, or it is found on the World Wide Web, the www. Therefore, it does not differentiate between coded materials and original writing. And even if you code it, or even if it is your original writing, it can still it still show a plagiarism percentage, which means to say be careful. Not because you type it down yourself doesn't mean that it is your original work. So the possible scenario here is that if a lecturer or student who has access to it receives an originality report showing a match for the following passages, like for this example, today, according to the author of Death of E and the Birth of the Real Economy, doing business electronically is the only way to stay alive and competitive. It is a necessity to get involved in the digital economy. Therefore, E is appearing from a vocabulary because conducting business electronically is normal everyday activity. Upon clicking on the comparison link, you will find that the text is found on an online article entitled The Death of E and the Birth of the Real New Economy. Therefore, even if you type it down yourself, even if it was your original word, if it came from somebody else, it will appear on Turnitin. And it's so sensitive that you will get frustrated because you have already done your part. It is your original language, your original sentences, or maybe you have typed it down yourself and tried to revise it a little bit, but it still has a few percent, a small amount of percentage of plagiarism. So, clear plagiarism policy definition, avoidance, guidance, and disciplinary processes is the reason why originality checker called Turnitin is used on most universities. So let me give you an example of Turnitin because you might want to have a clear picture of how a Turnitin looks like. Okay, I'm sharing the screen of one of the percentage of a student Turnitin report. So this is called a 28% similarity, 24% coming from the internet sources, and 19% from publications, and 18% from the student papers. It doesn't matter whether 24 plus 19 and plus 18 is not 28. It's not how they add them all together. They break them out apart. As long as the similarity index says 28%, then 24% belongs to the internet of the 28, 19% of the 28 belongs to publications, and 18% of the 28 belongs to student papers. Now, you can see that only 2% here is bmcedu.biomedcentral.com. This came from biomedcentral.com, and 1% came from this journal or this article from a student, from someone who has written in the Journal of Nursing Research, and 1% came from the Journal of Clinical Nursing, 1% came from Journal of Medicinal Plant Research, and digitalcommons.library.edu is the World Wide Web. So most of it is 1%. And if you can see the less than 1% here, it means to say you have written it on your own language, in your own words, but it still came from somebody else. So it's less than 1%. So it can be 0.0001%. As long as the word less than 1% is there, it can be infinite, 0.000001%. So this is a good sign. And there is a maximum percentage of Turnitin. So that means don't be afraid that you will be turned in. Don't be ashamed that you have been turned in. because it can be less than 1%. Maybe it's on your own words, but other people has said it as well. Other people has written it, and it was found on the World Wide Web. Not just it's just a simple plagiarism. However, it is not so shameful because all these is 1%. It can be infinite 0.001%. So the maximum number of plagiarism count is of course less than 20%. For some supervisors, they will accept 25%. So what do we do to make it lesser? All we have to do is reword it from the highlighted words. However, be careful on the highlighted words. Sometimes it is less than 1%. So these highlighted words, as you can see, it's brown and purplish. If we can go to the percentage again, to the brown and the purplish, it's not so high. This is the brown. It's less than 1%. It's less than 1%. It can be 0.001% to the infinite. So leave it. Okay, the purple one here shows that it's also less than 1%. So leave it. Don't change it. It's okay. It can be infinite 0.00001%. And it won't give you that high amount of plagiarism or stealing. You're not stealing this. It's just that it happens to be similar to that and it was captured in the Turnitin. So these colors can also be 0.0001%. Leave it, don't change it. Okay, so all these are the things that you need to change. It's so pinkish. Let's see how many percent is this pinkish number 2. This is number 2. As you can see, there's number 2 here, and this is number 38. There are numbers that you can refer to, so you can go through it. This is number 90. So number 90, leave it. It's less than 0.0001%. This is the number 90. As you can see, it says here 90. 92, leave it. 92, it won't make a difference. Just leave it as it is highlighted. But the number 2, you can change that because it has a certain amount that is high percentage. Okay, these are the number 2s. And also the number 72 color red, you can change that. But number 41, leave it. Number 48, leave it. It's only 1%. Okay, so the number 2 must have a change of wordings so that it was not stolen from other people. If you can see, this is number 65. Leave it. Leave it. It's only less than 1%. Okay, so those number 2s and number 1s, change it. Okay, number 4, you can see the number here, it's showing number 4. Change the words. Here you go. As you can see, it came from, the number 2 came from Chinemerem. Alright, so this is number 2. So the bright red, there's a dark red and this is a bright red. The dark red, you leave it. The bright red, you have to change a little bit of the wording there. Right, so that's number 1 and number 2. As you can see, this is number 61, color bright reddish. Leave it. Number 17, leave it. Don't change it. It's okay. Okay, the number 1s, these are stolen passages or words or sentences or phrases. Number 1 is about 2%. Change it so you can go down from 28% plagiarism to less than 20% plagiarism as much as possible. Okay, let me show you another example of a Turnitin so that you can have a comparison. Okay, so this is only 12% plagiarism. If it's 12% plagiarism, leave everything. It's okay. No problem with that. All right, you have copied it from someone else. Maybe you really need to copy it. Okay, so how do you increase how do you reduce or increase the originality but reduce the stolen words or passages? Write as many as you can on your own original context and it will reduce the plagiarism count. As you can see, there are not much highlights here. So if the lesser highlight you have, that means the lesser plagiarism you might get. Okay, so some sentences really needs to be there. Some sentences has to be copied, and there's nothing you can do but you copy it, but you have until 20%. The more original words that you formulate or structure or write, the lesser plagiarism you can have. And if you want to have lesser plagiarism, read and then remember what you've read and write it down. So that's how you reduce the number of plagiarism. Turnitin is academically acceptable in all universities because it is linked to other universities which you could not get away from.
Okay, so that is just an introduction, just to remind you of what you have learned before so that you will not forget. Okay. So, in addition to that, we are going to review again the APA system of referencing. All right. And again, a review is not that bad. So let's start again with the review. Sing style longhand. And I hope you can see the screen. And I have given this to you on your group WhatsApp. So the APA as a referencing style is using the 7th edition at Lincoln University College. We are using the 7th edition. Therefore, you have to set your Mendeley at 7th edition that we have discussed yesterday. Okay. So when to cite? When to cite, you need to include citation every time. So this can be answer to your one of your formative assessment also. Why do you use referencing? When do you cite? When there's directly quoted from someone else's work, you can use this as in your 20%. When you paraphrase someone else's idea, when you quote directly, paraphrase from your own previous work, and you can use an image. If you're using an image from somebody else, you have to cite or you have to reference and use numerical data or data sets. You have to reference. You can use this answer to your 20%. So the reference components, this is the reference components of 8PA. This is the main one. Who, the first is the who, then the next is the when, the what, and the where. These are the 4 wives. There's no husband here. No how. Only who, what, when, what, and where. Just remember those 4. When you see your reference list, ask yourself who. www. That's what we always do. www. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. The www is the where. You started at the end.
You see, this is your practice. This is your bad habit. www dot blah 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 dot edu dot blah blah blah, then habis. Finished. They're done referencing. No. That is aware, and that comes last. First is the who. Whether it's a www, you put here the who. Maybe the who can be an organization. Maybe the who can be an institution. Maybe the who can be the creator of the web page. Okay? Maybe the who can be an insurance company. Okay, maybe the who can be a very big web page. Right? The who. Next is the when. You forgot the when. You already gave me the where. It's like telling me you do yourself. Read yourself. You have your own eyes. Lakan. You read yourself. I don't want to give you the who and the when. That's what you're trying to tell. That's the bad habit of non-academic writers. The who should be the creator or the author or the institution or the organization, followed by the when. When was that? So in APA, it has to be a year and a month if it's just an institution. That's the when. The what is the title. Okay, the what, that's the title. And also the creator's webpage, the publisher, you can put there the what as well. Or the journal name, that's the what, followed by the where. All right. The where can be the page number. Always ask yourself those questions. Who and when? That's how you do your APA referencing. Okay, so these are the reference lists, and it can be a single author or double author. So if it's the double author on APA 7th edition, I know you have a lot of editions of referencing, but we're using here at Lincoln APA 7th edition. And therefore, the single author has, for in-text citation, they have the who and the when after a comma. Okay, and it's apostrophe, open and close parenthesis, sorry, not apostrophe, parenthesis, open and close parenthesis, bracket, you call it bracket in layman's term. So Calder bracket 2009 is the in-text citation. So there are no comma when you put it on a sentence like what we have done yesterday. And if it is gonna be a long referencing, for the reference section at the end of the in-text, this is the in-text, that means your essay, in-text, in the essay, in-text. Okay, so the reference is after the in-text, that's another section. You have to put the author name, then comma, initial, and then the year, when, and then what. All right. That's the first author. The where is missing. This can be the publication name with the volume and the issue number and the page number. That's the where. So that is the single author. What about the double author, the two authors? So the double author must have both and followed by an and. Okay, in the in-text citation, there's an and. Bernstein and Tigerman, 1989. Okay, this is with a comma. There's no more initials. So Bernstein and Tigerman only 1989. And then this is the referencing with an and. But on 3 to 20s, it is an et al. So remember that it only has and on double authors. That's APA 7th edition. It has an and on double authors. While on 3 to 20 authors, it is followed by an et al. Okay, in the in-text citation, et al. All right, this is the sample. Okay, the surname, the author name, the surname, author, and then surname, initial, author surname, and then initial. So this is how you should do author B, and then surname, and then initial, and then all the way until the finish line, until you get to the year with the bracket, open and close parenthesis. See guidelines for appropriate source to complete creation. So that's how the it's the same guideline here. Okay, so only remove the and in the in-text citation, but on the reference list, you have to put all the names until you finish it. That's the API 7th edition. And there are a lot of other examples here on different types, whether it's a journal, it's a book, okay, or whether it's um a web page. Right? There's a lot of other sources here, but I have given you the the information technology for the Mendeley. So therefore, the Mendeley will do the trick for you. If the Mendeley fails, at least you know the long way to do it, and you can make it nicer. Like for example, the Mendeley will give you all capital letters. It's not supposed to be all capital letters. Therefore, you have to type down into smaller letters. And sometimes the Mendeley forgot the page number. So open the journal source and write down the page number. If the Mendeley forgets the page number.
Okay, that is the review of the whole thing that we're gonna do for our publication seminar. So we have reviewed the APA and also the Turnitin, because these are very important factors when you want to do a publication. So what we need to do now is to go to the registration, and the registration will be online. This is the registration online. And if you can see on the screen, for the Lincoln Malaysian Journal of Nursing, famous Malaysian Journal of Nursing, because this is a Scopus Index journal. And therefore, we want you to do the registration on the Malaysian Journal of Nursing. So you have to put your ORCID, okay? And you can ask what is ORCID here, but you have to connect yourself through the ORCID. And then your given name, family name, affiliation, country, and you can put their email, username, and they will ask you for your password, and you have to agree. Then you have to register, and then they will confirm to your email, and then you go to the registration. Okay, then on the portal here, there's a other portals. On the Malaysian Journal of Nursing, there's the reviewer board, the archives. You can see other journals published there. Guidelines to the reviewers, so you will know what the reviewer will looking for, and especially the templates. The templates must be downloaded. You can start submitting if you have read the guide to your author. Right? So the MJN will give you the guide for your author, for you as the author. So this is the guide for the author. I hope you can see the screen, the guide to the authors. So the Malaysian Journal of Nursing gives you a guideline that you need to follow. And the first guideline is free to pay. All right, this is 250 USD. They have their own bank account there, so you can pay directly there. And these are the specialties, or the one that they are interested in publishing. Reflecting views, reports, or interests and updates are nice to know, but for the masters, you need to give original written articles for research. And submitting articles and research papers should approximately have 1,000 words. Okay, 1,000 words to 4,000 words. 1,000 is enough, 4,000 is maximum. Shorter or longer submission may be submitted upon approval from the editorial. So you can click this link, this is submit online. And you can also email it to them if you want to. So the articles including the references should have the following specifications: text document, body text, title must have size 16 in bold, Times New Roman, and subheading must be size 14 in bold and Times New Roman as well. Plagiarism again, this is Turnitin. Plagiarism is found on the article will be rejected. Once it is rejected, for example, you paid and it was rejected, don't pay first. Let them see the article, and then if you pay, there will be no refund, so don't pay first. Authors are requested to do similarity check through Turnitin software, and this is where you will ask for similarity check. So segment the article on parts. Remember, the parts has to be exactly what the Malaysian Journal of Nursing wants. It's not what you want, it's what they want. And after you have done the sections or the segments and parts, you will sign the copyright waiver form. It may be your name, but once you submitted your copyright waiver form, this is the property of Malaysian Journal of Nursing. So that means you cannot submit to other journals what you have already submitted to Malaysian Journal of Nursing. It's your name, you're the author, but they are the owner. So if you submit that to other journals and you claim that it is yours, no, you have transferred it already and you signed it, that means they are plagiarizing Malaysian Journal of Nursing, not you. No longer you in the picture of being plagiarized, but the Malaysian Journal of Nursing is owning your property or your original submitted transcript, and other journals are stealing it from them. So you have no more property. It doesn't belong to you, but they will recognize your name. Okay, that's what the copyright waiver form is all about. So you can no longer submit to others what you have submitted to them. Even if they rejected it, even if they say the plagiarism is high, and you have already uploaded everything, including the copyright waiver form, you can no longer submit that to any other journals anymore because it is already in their Turnitin. It's there. They will not erase it. And once other journals have already Turnitin, they will appear 100% plagiarism from the Malaysian Journal of Nursing. So there will be only one-time submission. And these are the forms and templates that you needed to click. Right, so your type of article is original article. This is your type. It should contain title page, abstract, keywords, introduction, research methods, results, discussion, conclusion, acknowledgement, references. It doesn't end on original article. You can have review articles if you want to. It's unlimited. If you can pay, then you can submit all these: letter to editors, case study, title page, abstract, whatever you wanted to submit, you can submit. So these are the guide to authors. So what are keywords? Keywords, each submitted article contains 3 to 4 keywords. The minimum is 3, maximum is 4 keywords. Keywords will assist indexers in cross-indexing the article as they are published with the abstract. And it is written after the abstract. So the research methods, after the introduction first, and then the research methods, the results, and the discussion. So that is the general guideline to the author. Credit author statement and author declaration is mandatory part of a submission. Remember that the author declaration, okay, these are the definitions of the terminologies that the Malaysian Journal of Nursing will be given to you as a reply. All right. And the final checklist, as you can see, these are the final checklists. Your email ID must be there. ORCID ID is very important. And you can just create an ORCID ID. It doesn't have to have any publications yet. An ORCID ID does not require any publications yet. So if you're going to click the turn it in, it will come out like this. So apply for plagiarism. Here's the turn it in link where they are asking you for plagiarism. But so if you click this link, it will lead you to this. All right, so let's try to click this link. Okay, so it leads us to there. All right, so you have to put your name, name of journal, email ID, affiliation, title of paper, and author name, and then click submit. All right, so that's the general idea of how you get your guidelines. So click the waiver form. This is the waiver. Okay, this is the copyright transfer, right? So manuscript title, put here. Who are the authors? Maybe many of you. You can have unlimited authors. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 authors. Anybody you want to include in your authorship will be fine. But the first author will be your name. All right. And then you write again the then name and then sign, name and sign, name and sign, name and sign. All authors are required to sign. So not just you, but all authors. If the authorship is challenged at any stage, the manuscript will be returned or kept termination till the issue is resolved. And this form may be photocopied and used. So yeah, you can have this printed out and let the author sign it. Okay, forms and templates. If you click this forms and then these are the forms and templates, of course. The author details, title page, main manuscript, conflict of interest, and copyright form. So this is what we were looking at just now, the copyright transfer form. And let's try to see what the conflict of interest disclosure looks like. Copyright. Okay. Conflict of interest. I hope you can see the screen. So this is how the conflict of interest disclosure form looks like. It is a policy of the Malaysian Journal of Nursing that to ensure that all authors disclose to the readers any real or apparent conflict of interest may have been bearing on the subject matter of the article. So maybe you have financial conflicts. You are publishing it because of the financial gain that you can have. Maybe you're advertising a product. So all authors need to complete and submit this form when submitting manuscript disclosure, and signatures from all authors on one form are preferred. So if you don't, just click this. I verify that there is no actual or potential conflict of interest in relation to this article. So these are the authors that must sign. And you have to disclose the following potential conflicts. Describe financial. If you want to disclose any financial, you just have to disclose it. If no conflict, then just click no conflict. Here, click or tick here. So if there's no conflict, then it's good. You can disclose if there's a conflict as well. So it's not a problem to have a conflict. This is the same copyright transfer form that we have seen just now. Okay, author details will be the important part of this. So author detail. And the Malaysian Journal of Nursing would like to know the authors. So if you have corresponding author, it's not you, then write the name of the corresponding author here. Corresponding author, that means they will have their email ID, and they will reply, and they will email them, and only the corresponding author will reply to them. If you are the corresponding author, then you are here, and the others are co-authors. Right? So what do you mean by Scopus ID? You can also register to Scopus ID and to ORCID. You can register there on your own. You do not need any publications yet. You just have to register, and it will appear, the ID will appear, and then you have to copy the ID. All authors, even co-authors, must have ORCID and Scopus. Okay, these are important. So if not enough co-author, you have a lot of co-authors, just copy and paste. Copy and then paste. All right. You can have unlimited. So that is the author manuscript. And we're going to go for the title page. The title page looks like this. All right. So this is another page that you are going to submit separately. Right. So this is the font size 18. What you need to do is just highlight this and then type it down because it's already size 18. Knowledge, for example, knowledge and practice. So you just have to highlight it. Author's full name. If there's more than one author with asterisk before the name, if there's more than one author with different affiliations, mention superscript it with ABC. So you just have to copy this. This is the superscript already before the name, before the name. Affiliation of author, font size 11. This is already the font size 11. All you have to do is highlight this and then type down the affiliation, Lincoln University College. Okay, for example, just for example, okay. If there's more than one author with different affiliation mentioned, superscript it. You can copy this, okay, because more than one author with different affiliations. And according to the name before the affiliations. The corresponding author's email must be here. All right. That's how the author title page would look like. Correspondence, author detail, name must be put on the corresponding author's name. Highest qualification must be there as well. Affiliation of corresponding author, the corresponding author email, please put the author email there. Remember that the corresponding author is the first author, or it is you, right? The one who did the manuscript, and the others are just co-authors. That's how the corresponding email, the corresponding author means, all right? And don't touch this. This is not for you. This is not for you. This is not for you. Don't touch it. Okay, don't touch. Don't touch. All right. Okay, before we go to the main manuscript, because the main manuscript is the main idea, let me give you, um, let me share to you some experiences that I have in 2024. Okay, so we have a lot of artificial intelligence now. As you can see here, it says artificial intelligence. They can write for you. The chat GPT can write for you. And turn it in. This is turn it in. Turn it in. They can detect. Okay. So as you can see, you have to write it yourself. So don't go to artificial intelligences or what we call chat GPT or any other artificial intelligences. There's so many there. Okay. It can detect here, it's color blue. You see it's highlighting. Almost the whole thing is highlighted. All right. So you can't get away with it. Okay. It's highlighted and then they will see, they will detect it. So don't be smart. They will see there are, if we are high technology and the checkers are also high technology. So that is uh the 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 appetizer. Now we go to the main part, which is we're going to the main course, the main manuscript. Okay. So this is the main manuscript, how it looks like. You have to write the title again. If you write the title already on the title page, you have to write the title again here on the main manuscript. And it's already here. All you have to do is copy it. Okay, so the abstract is immediately after the title. There's no name here on the main manuscript because the title page has your name already and all the other co-authors. And the font of this abstract is size 11 times New Roman. So it has to be less than 250 words. Okay, an author needs to be careful that the abstract reflects the content of the article accurately. So it should contain title also, which includes study design, author's information, and first name and last name with highest academic affiliation. Here on this part. Okay, so abstract should contain background, research methods, results, and conclusions sectioned separately. Okay, the objective of the study findings, including its statistical significance and the conclusion made on the basis of the findings. Nevertheless, the length of the abstract should be less than 250 words. Keywords, 3 to 4 words only. Please separate your keywords with a semicolon. This is a semicolon. Each submitted article should contain 3 to 4 keywords, and the keywords will assist indexers in cross-indexing the article as they are published with abstract. So the introduction should be placed here. The research methodology should be placed here. Just type it down here. Okay, and the result must be presented in the form of text, tables, and illustrations. And the content of the table should not be all repeated in the text. Instead, a reference to the table number may be given. So long articles may need subheadings and mentioned on page 1, where is it, or table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. And then the discussion should be emphasizing the present findings and the variations or similarities with other work done in the field of researchers. So the conclusion, last few words, straight to the point conclusion, and it allows you to have the final say on the issues you have raised in your paper to summarize your thoughts, to demonstrate the importance of your ideas, and to propel your reader to new view of subjects. It is also an opportunity to make a good final impression and to end on a positive note. And therefore, you need to represent something important to your reader. It can be a call for practice, cues to action. Acknowledgements can be also done. Is acknowledge whoever you want to acknowledge. It could be financial, material support, or moral support, or um, a declaration of the competing interest that you would like to give some thank you for. If there is a declaration of conflict of interest, like thank you for the 1,000 US dollar sponsored by, that will be a rejection of the paper. Just make sure that there is no declaration of conflict of interest. Or I would like to thank Dr. Duke for writing my thesis. No, that's a conflict of interest. Then it will be a rejection of paper. Or I would like to thank uh, mm, Lincoln University College for sponsoring my tuition fees with scholarship of 80%. That is also a rejection. All right. So don't make any conflicts, competing interests. So the references must use the APA. We have already reviewed what the APA looks like. And the DOI is so important, DOI. That's why the Mendeley is recommended, because it can get the DOI link. So as you can see, this is an example. And at the end, there's an index. Okay. The indexing of the journal where they can get from the World Wide Web. If not DOI, then it has to be a web link. So how will MJN eliminate other journals submitted if they are referencing articles without indexes? Because those without indexes are called predator journals, something that takes your money, that they will publish it without even having any guidelines, or they are not indexed to any other citations or any other World Wide Web indexes. And they just want to make money by publishing your work. They don't have the DOI. If you're referencing journals that are low class, not say low class, but some are predator journals with high class, because they're innocent of the crime that's being committed to them, they don't have the DOIs, and they are expensive, and they're high class journals, published, but no DOI. MJN will reject your paper. Oh, this paper was referencing some predator journals, because without the DOI or the link, for example, World Health Organization, let's put the link there so they can click the link and see if you're telling the truth. Okay, if it's really there. Maybe you just made up something here. Yeah, you can put any example journal and put there the medical journal of Nigeria in your place. Then they will not. They will not. They you will lose the credibility. So make sure you have the DOI journals. Journals that has no DOI is somehow also known as predator journals. Just taking your money so that they can publish it. Predator, they prey on you, they eat you. And not all journals that are came from predator uh, is low class. Sometimes they are very good, highly academic. But MJN will eliminate that. So make sure MJN doesn't eliminate you because you wanted to publish. Avoid rejection. So follow them to avoid rejection. Give what they want and they'll give you what you want. So let's try to transfer something from the PowerPoint. Let's do an example. All right. I will share to you a PowerPoint. put it on two. Okay, one here and one there. Right? And then main manuscript. Okay. Okay, so I hope you can see all these. This is from on my left is the PowerPoint, and on my right is the Malaysian Journal of Nursing. So all I have to do is copy this. I'm not saying that this is correct, okay, but I'm just trying to apply what I have taught you. So Control V. Okay, this is already 18, font size 18. Presented by Abdul. I can remove this. The abstract should not be 250 words. There's no abstract here. We go straight to the introduction. So remember, the abstract must be divided into background, research method, result, and conclusion. So all you have to do is go here, click here, background, and then colon, down here, research method, right? Then colon again, enter results, colon again, then conclusion. Separate, right? Okay, so just put here the background, the research method, result, and conclusion. Usually the background must have the idea, right? And the main objective or the hypothesis. One hypothesis or one main objective or one main aim is enough to put here in the background. And it's always in the past tense. Research methods must be in the past tense. Okay. So the keywords you put here, this is already size 11, size 11, yeah, times New Roman. Put your keywords, for example, malnutrition. About malnutrition, knowledge in mothers on malnutrition among under 5 children in Ilorin State. Okay. So the keywords, the first keywords, malnutrition separated by semicolon, and then maybe mothers separated by semicolon, and then children, under 5 children. Semicolon, and maternal and child. Okay, that's it. That's the keyword. So the introduction is this. Copy this. Copy and then paste. Okay. Like what I said, you have to use the Mendeley. So go to your references and Open your Mendeley. Insert citation. Not like this, but you need to insert the Mendeley citation because the Mendeley can detect the DOI. So WHO, I hope you can see. Okay, maybe you cannot see. If you insert citation, a box will appear. Okay, let me show you how this box looks like. Huh? Oh, it doesn't show. Anyway, that's how the Mendeley works. There's a box will appear on the small box there. And then right here, World Health Organization 2021. I already have that. WHO 2021. On maternal and child. Twenty 2021, WHO. Let us try to document it. World Health Organization 2021. Okay. Uh, this is how it looks like when we try to see it. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, when you try to open the Mendeley, it will show something like this. And all you have to do is open the box of 2021. Right, so it will appear on your slide automatically, on your manuscript automatically. This came from this. Right? So if we're gonna go down, all the way down, here on the reference list, you just have to remove this. Okay, enter, enter. Put here, the cursor has to be here. As you can see, my cursor is blinking. I hope you can see the cursor blinking here. There's a cursor here that blinks. So the cursor has to blink here at the reference list and go back to the references. And then go to your insert bibliography. This is insert bibliography. I hope you can see the arrow. The arrow. Let me get the drawing straight. There. It's not drawn properly. Okay. The cursor has to be there and then click the insert bibliography. There, it's already opening and then it's automatically showing you the link, okay, where it can be found. And this is the link as well. And then they can click the link there and you won't get rejected because they can read it as well. All your references, they can be able to read it. So that's how you do the referencing. All right, research methodology is the next after the introduction. Let's go to the research methodology. Remember, 1000 is enough. Research methodology, significance of the study scope. Okay, this study was a descriptive cross-sectional. Okay, let us try to copy this and put here. Okay, that's your research methodology. Then the result must be in form of text or tables. What we do in the result. Okay. Okay, this is the first result. So table one. This is the table one socio-demographic characteristics. Copy this. Remove all these. Delete. Then space, space, space. And then paste it here. Okay, this is the first page. Then put here the title. Okay, and then put here table one social demographic characteristics. Control V. Control C. Social demographic characteristics. So you have to make a sentence. Table one. If this is the title of the table, then put here on the center. Table one. Then make a sentence. Table one shows the social demographic characteristics of the study participants. Okay. Table 2 shows the knowledge of the mothers. You can copy that and then paste that here. Table 3 shows. Okay, so that's how you do your findings. And then you make discussions. So on your PowerPoint, if you have discussion, if you have this table 4 reveal, blah blah blah, you can do that on the resultant findings, but the discussion is here. The findings from table 2. Okay. Copy this and then put it here. Okay, that's how you do it. Then the conclusion is found here. Based on the findings, blah blah blah. You can copy this, copy, and then put here the conclusion. Okay, based on the findings of the study, it can be concluded, blah blah blah. All right, so that is how you do your Malaysian Journal of Nursing manuscript. Okay, and then you have to submit it there. So that's it. You're ready to submit your manuscript and you're ready to publish in the Malaysian Journal of Nursing. Should there be any other journals that you would like to or wish or interested in publishing, do not hesitate. You are free to do whatever you want to do. I'm just advertising our own because it's Lincoln University College. So thank you very much for your time and goodbye. And yeah, you can ask questions.